Good evening, everybody, and welcome back inside historic Keyworth Stadium. Tonight, we're under the lights as Detroit City FC plays host to FC Tulsa. Alongside my broadcast partner, John Krieger. My name is Neil Rule. Happy to have you with us here tonight. And John, as we take a look at the USL Championship standings, Detroit City FC looking up right now, but the time is now to make a move.
It's the first time in the history of this club, really, that they've been bringing up the rear of the table. Nowhere to go but up. To do that, you got to find the back of the net. The faithful here at Keyworth Stadium still haven't seen a goal. They need one tonight.
Absolutely. And the numbers behind the dry run offensively certainly are staggering. And as you get a chance to look at them here, John, and look, we know what the story is. We've been here. We've seen it play out. Those next 4 matches as we go through, this continues to be a meat grinder.
Listen, the Eastern Conference of USL Championship, top to bottom, getting much better than it was even a season ago. You got to be ready for it every week. And you look at that conversion rate, 5% last in the league. That's got to get better.
Let's check out tonight's player to watch, brought to you by the Finnish Long Drink, a crisp citrus soda with premium spirits. Please enjoy responsibly. Stephen Carroll, usually the spine of the back line, always makes the proper play defensively. He could be a target, maybe on a corner here tonight to score a goal.
You know what? The wind is swirling a bit here at Keyworth Stadium. Set pieces are going to be interesting. And if you can get the ball back into the mixing bowl on a set piece, Stephen Carroll will usually find it.
On the other side for FC Tulsa, Milo Yusuf has been a factor. A couple of goals here early on in his career, won a national title at Marshall. He's shown he belongs. 2
goals, 2 assists coming straight from the collegiate ranks. That's a player that's wise beyond his years.
Absolutely. So FC Tulsa ready. Detroit City FC is ready. We are ready. When we come back, we'll get you the starting 11s. And of course, we will kick it. Detroit City FC, FC Tulsa, under the lights here at Keyworth, coming up next.
Do it.
Come on, Dad, get me.
Ooh, nice play. All right, go. There we go.
So cute.
At Ally, we're helping millions save more for the things that matter most to them. Whatever you're saving for, we're all better off with an Ally.
Get back to work.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the high five strangers got, game-winning interception, first down, just a nice solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
DTE knows everyone has a preferred setting. Some like it cool, others warmer. Some like things slow, and others like it ASAP. Long, hot soak, or quick rinse. But whether it's a slow simmer or a fast boil, DTE makes sure that safe, reliable, cleaner natural gas is there for you, making every setting the perfect one. DTE.
There's a beer in the D for me and you. From Royal Oak to Jefferson Avenue. Grab a friend and a jersey too and chant. Chant like you give a damn. Now we're talking Detroit and Stroh's is spoken here.
Detroit City FC is presented by Ally, the official financial services partner of DCFC. Fago, proud to be the official pop of DCFC. Misdig 811. Know what's below and visit misdig811.org before any digging project. Brew Detroit, the official craft beer of Detroit City FC. And Ford Pontchartrain, proud to be the official hotel partner of DCFC. Welcome back inside Keyworth Stadium. Let's take a look at the 11s. Detroit City FC brought to you by Detroit Medical Center, the official healthcare provider of DCFC. One note real quick, no Maxi Rodriguez available here tonight.
No, and that shifts things a little bit with Tommy McCabe kind of in a holding midfield role in front of the back three, trying to shore up the defense and let the attack have more freedom.
And there is the 11 for FC Tulsa, presented by Fort Pontchartrain. Proud to be the official hotel partner of Detroit City FC. Michael Nelson at the keeper spot, former draft pick of the Houston Dynamo. Played 13 matches in MLS play. And we are ready to go. 64 degrees here at the opening kick. The wind has picked up a little bit. John, as you talked about, it is swirling.
It is indeed. And you take a look at the two keepers tonight. Going to be fun to watch him. Nelson, he's 4th best in USL Championship right now. That would normally be one of the notes of the game, except the guy between the sticks on the other end is 2nd in the league in saves made. So 2 good keepers tonight. 2 offenses looking to find a little bit more form. And Detroit City looking for a goal, plain and simple.
And we are underway here at Keyworth. Neil Rule, John Krieger here with you on a Saturday night. Our first match under the lights. And Detroit City FC with the early control. A quick touch there by Tommy McCabe. Tommy McCabe in that Maxi Rodriguez-ish position. And Michael Bryant will wing it out, and there is Stephen Carroll. Mensah. Direct ball up ahead, looking for Reese Williams. Can he track it down by the touchline? He can. Reese Williams, his cross sent in. Headed away. And Detroit City FC with an early corner opportunity. And John, we highlighted Stephen Carroll in the open. I'm just saying, you know, as an offensive option. That's all I'm saying.
And here we are, first set piece, 1:20 seconds in.
And there goes Stephen Carroll towards the front. Corner kick presented by Mystic 811. Know what's below and visit mystic811.org before you dig. Header on frame, and that will trickle just wide of the post.
Well, they did the job putting it back through the mixing bowl, but nobody could be on the other end of that redirected cross back in. Bill Hart with a nice bit of service, and all of a sudden across the face of goal and a boot length away from trying to tap it in.
And our first 5 minutes of the match presented by DMC Physical Therapy Sports Medicine. DMC proud to be the official healthcare provider for Detroit City FC. That ball played out across the touchline. Right in front was touched out of play by Dario Suarez, the native of Cuba. Played for the Cuban national team in the 2015 Gold Cup. Detroit City FC fans certainly will remember him. He played for AFC Ann Arbor back in the NPSL days, and he had a goal here at Keyworth. Always seems to bring his best against Detroit City FC.
I think it is fair to say that there is less than no love lost between Detroit City faithful and Dario Suarez.
That ball inside the 18. Ben Morris couldn't quite collect it the way he wanted to.
Is there a number less than 0? Is that?
And there was a takeaway by Bill Hart, but the whistle sounds. And thousands of newly minted referees disagree with the call here at Keyworth.
Eric Tattersall setting the standard early.
Our match officials here today, as you said, Eric Tattersall, the head referee, Nick Balser, and Jacob Little. ARs 1 and 2, and the 4th official is Kevin Fakar. Reese Williams tries to muscle his way through and does. The give, the go. Williams in the corner. Michael Bryant, the back heel. And Lay Joe able to control it to Stephen Carroll. Here's Mensah. Good to see Devin Mensah Back out there coming off that devastating ACL injury last season. Reese Williams can't quite control it. I will say this, John, looking at LaRouge as that whistle will go against Michael Bryant. Michael Bryant disagrees. I will say this. You are seeing a higher level of aggressiveness from Detroit City FC to start this match.
You know, and I was waiting to see 2 or 3 more minutes because the first 4 is always a small sample size. But they learned from the Tampa film from a week ago. They were passive on the ball for large swaths of that match. They needed to be more physical. They needed to close down the ball better. They're doing that. We saw last week Tampa seeming like it was 11 on 18 out there. Always having a second man in, closing off passing lanes. Detroit City FC doing that tonight. The midfield further forward, trusting that back 3.5 with McCabe to be there if they get beat.
Reese Williams tracked back to take it away. Connor Rutz jumped up as well.
It's telling, by the way, that FC Tulsa has not had the ball in Detroit City's half until right now.
Almost 6 minutes into this one. Pass slotted through towards the left side, catching up, and that shot just wide of the post by Marcus Epps. Nate Steinwasser looked like he had it covered, however.
And interesting, they're going to say that Nate touched the ball maybe beyond the end line. I thought it caught a piece of him in play. All of a sudden a breakdown and a nice ball through, player on side, and I thought that touched Steinwasser's hand. Might have been hard done by. Tulsa might have deserved a corner there. The other thing we're seeing from a week ago that we didn't see is a much wider base. Take a look at how wide DCFC are spread, forcing Tulsa to respect touchline to touchline. That can open up the wings.
Da Costa sends that one out towards the far touchline.
That's a good sliding tackle.
Oh, and a dangerous challenge.
Good job by the referee to blow the whistle, albeit late. I think he got some help from an assistant. Challenge came in very late.
Let's see it again. Bill Hart did well.
And then, that's very late and doesn't get much of the ball.
Bill Hart still down now, just getting to his feet.
Always a difficult moment for officials. You're 7 minutes in. If you issue a booking here, you've set the standard 7 minutes in. Sometimes you'll see referees keep the card in the pocket. DCFC, after the official to issue a booking, but I don't think one's coming.
Adrian Billhart trying to walk it off. The native of Germany, played his college soccer at South Florida. He had 9 goals, 10 assists in 46 matches. Has really climbed up the ranks of American soccer. Was the 2022 USL League One Comeback Player of the Year. Spent a lot of time with South Georgia Tormenta in USL League One.
And proved himself very capable there. This is not a jump up in class for his ability. Tell you what, Bird got away with a freebie. I think because there's only 7 minutes on the clock.
McCabe able to keep control of it for Detroit City. Tommy McCabe, former draft pick of FC Cincinnati out of MLS. 29th overall pick, played 7 matches for the MLS side. As we cross into the 10th minute.
This is another thing we didn't see last week, Neil, here at Keyworth. Sustained possession. by Detroit City FC. And they've used both wings early here. Multiple different avenues of attack for DCFC early.
Throw along the corner for Detroit City. Jope the target. Jope the half volley headed out. Stephen Carroll will settle it down. FC Tulsa coming off a 1-1 draw against Sacramento Republic. Certainly has been playing very well here in the early stages of the USL Championship season. Jope lets it go! An absolute rocket and a bolt of lightning through Keyworth Stadium. La Rouge takes the 1-0 lead.
Finally, they get the goal at Keyworth, and look what it means. This goal, Late Jope's going to get the credit, but you know who's the reason Detroit City scores? Watch the physical battle right here to keep possession. That is a beautiful job for Detroit City by Ben Morris to not allow the Tulsa defender to come over and get an avenue to the ball. That opened up the shooting lane. Jope had the opportunity to snatch at it, cut it across his body, and put it in the back of the net. It doesn't happen without the physicality by Morris, and Jope take full advantage. And finally, City have a goal here at Keyworth.
Pressure from Ben Morris on the keeper Nelson, but an absolute rocket by Lay Jope. Stephen Carroll steps up. Here's Jope again. Jope this time sent it up ahead.
I think Connor was expecting to have a goal.
The heat check from Jope, why not?
Hey, if Dame Lillard can hit it from the logo,
right,
Jope can hit it from there.
And this Keyworth crowd have been starving for some offensive punch and get it in the early stages. This 5 minutes presented by the University of Michigan Flint, offering a flexible world-class education. Find the right program at umflint.edu.
Plain and simple, Neil, this is the best 11 minutes Detroit City FC has played at Keyworth. I think that you and I have been here to see. First league home goal. They did get a goal in the U.S. Open Cup, couple of goals in the U.S. Open Cup. And when I say it's the best 11 minutes, I'm talking about league play, of course. But they're aggressive on the ball. They're keeping possession. They're challenging the keeper. It's a solid start for Detroit City FC.
Steinwasser pings that one up towards midfield. Jope tracks back, but the foul will go against FC Tulsa. FC Tulsa will play at Las Vegas next Saturday at 10:30. Detroit City FC will be at Tampa. Of course, they're coming off that 1-0 loss to Tampa here. So a little quirk in the schedule that will see Detroit City face the Rowdies 2 times in 3 weeks.
Tell you what, we talked about Detroit City FC's upcoming schedule not being easy. At Vegas, home against Memphis, at Lou City. That's not an easy 3 either.
I think we just have to accept the fact there are 0 easy ones out there. I mean, it's just, John, you look up and down the schedule, you look across the table, it is, like we talked about in the open, it is a meat grinder every week.
You know, it's interesting, Neil, because we've taken a look at the way the league has started out here. This is a different USL Championship than we saw a year ago.
Ben Morris feathers it through, drop back off. Left foot shot is blocked and then stopped by Nelson. Off a redirection. Boy, City buzzing right now.
Coming through, making a chance, and Nelson had to really reach back and I think got himself in some trouble here. Ben Morris again on the ball, lays it off nicely, and Skage Simonson takes the time, and then a redirection, and Morris following the shot.
That was going in.
And then all of a sudden, Nelson has to reach back. Could have been 2-0 very easily.
That ball sent out into space. Connor Rutz toe poke pass. Stepping through was Bill Hart. Couldn't keep the control. Joseph will play it up ahead. Now Detroit City FC with another throw. Toss it in quickly to Nate Steinwasser.
You know what's so fun about the USL Championship this year, Neil? With the exit of a lot of the two teams, the MLS 2 teams, we've really seen ownership groups up and down, especially the Eastern Conference as it grows into its own, really taking this game seriously. And they're going to call a foul against Detroit City FC there. And the LaRouche faithful, again, those newly minted referees, not happy about it.
Reese Williams not happy either.
Gives the sarcastic thumbs up to the official.
Michael Bryant steps up, plays it away from Suarez. The gaffer still got the hands down there. Trevor James has been with Detroit City FC since 2019. Throwing now for Detroit City FC as Reese Williams will pick it up.
Even on a throw-in, better options for Detroit City so far tonight. You saw Williams waiting, Rutz was there, McCabe came in to circle, and that opened up by drawing a defender. The throw-in backward that was less contested. A week ago against Tampa, we saw everything contested.
This portion of the match brought to you by DTE Energy. No matter where you are in your energy efficiency journey, DTE can help. Learn more at dteenergy.com/save energy. Direct ball flicked ahead. Michael Nelson will control it. Nelson signed with FC Tulsa back on March 3rd of this year. And as I see Dario Suarez back to play that ball, John, I'm always reminded of something you say. Forwards, when they're playing the ball back there, that's what you want if you're Detroit City FC.
Yeah, that means you're winning the possession battle. 3 layers to the game: defense, midfield, attack. The team that can keep those levels in that order is the team that most often than not is going to win the contest. When you see forwards having to track back into midfield, when you see midfielders having to track back into defense, when you see forwards having to come back to their own byline.
And the booking will be issued on the handball to Eric Bird. So this is not an optimal setup for FC Tulsa.
And in truth, I think that that's an accumulation on Eric Bird. He was already the naughty boy from the rash challenge on 7 minutes. And he's got his arm in an unnatural position. That's a handball, but he didn't really reach for it. I think that booking there is more an accumulation of instances. But he's now got to play the rest of the way on a booking.
Detroit City FC with almost 60% of the possession so far and have won 75% of the aerial duels. Bill Hart standing over.
He has filled in ably on set pieces.
McCabe chips it up, sent across, loose inside the 18. Scissor attempt is sent over top of the wall by Adrian Billhart.
He got pie eyes there. He was trying to have a go, leaning back, reaching for it. If he settles down that ball, I think he can send it through. But I'm not going to fault him. Sent back across and the mixing ball up. That's a tough. He's got to reach back to go get that. That's a tough ask.
Connor Rutz tried to make his way through. Detroit City FC asking questions, to say the least. And now it's time for our Fago trivia question. Who won Detroit City FC's 2021 Black Arrow MVP award on the women's side? Tweet your answers to @DetroitCityFC. You can win a $15 Kroger gift card good for Fago products. We'll have the answer for you in the second half. And John, speaking of the women's side, it's about that time soon, isn't it?
It is indeed. Women's season begins here at Keyworth next Saturday night. Tickets available, DebtCityFC.com.
Reese Williams will get a booking as well. The old descent booking.
Well, he had remonstrated earlier, and that is a point of emphasis this year. Yeah, he commits a foul. It's not the roughest foul in the entire world.
We cross over through 20 minutes here at Keyworth. That ball flicked ahead by Ben Morris. Skage Simonson absolutely harassing Bradley Bourgeois.
Look at how far forward Stephen Carroll is. Michael Bryant playing in the back three today, but he will want to get forward as quickly as he can.
Reese Williams sent one up the slot. Expecting Morris to continue his run. The next 5 minutes of this match presented by SeatGeek. SeatGeek is your ticket to great Detroit City FC seats. But John, as we said, 21 minutes in, there's a takeaway by FC Tulsa. Dario Suarez, the touch, Steinwasser off the line. As good of a 20 minutes plus that we have seen. As you said, you talked about that through the first 10 minutes. Detroit City FC has kept their foot on the gas pedal.
And that's what they need to do. And that's the difference between tonight and some of their other contests this year. Detroit City has had some strong starts, but they've fizzled and allowed their opponent back into the match. So far, we haven't seen that tonight. Unsung hero, by the way, the guy slotting in for Maxi Rodriguez. Tommy McCabe has drawn a fair bit of attention and has really allowed his midfield mates to get forward here.
Skage Simonson, his cross, and over top of the bar. Detroit City FC continuing to buzz as we cross into the 23rd minute. And speaking of the 23rd minute, as we get a look at the replay, I'd like to say congratulations to the newest member of the class of 2023. One of Detroit City's own, Jason Marquis, took part in his college graduation today. Works in the promotions department here for Detroit City FC. Tremendous work ethic. First one in, last one out. He was able to get his college degree in a great ceremony at the Big House in Ann Arbor. So congratulations to Jason Marquis. It was always a lifelong dream for him. That shot is blocked. Lejo plays it through, and now it's cleared out. And for Jason, it was always a lifelong dream to go to the University of Michigan. He wears La Rouge to work, but he bleeds maize and blue. Congratulations, Jason.
I'm going to echo that, partner. Jason's one of those guys really loves the beautiful game, loves working for this club. Couldn't do it without him.
Here's Stephen Carroll. Looking for Morris. Michael Nelson off the line to make the grab. And there's another takeaway by Morris. Joe to Morris. The cross. Rutt's there. Simonson was able to collect it. And that foul will go against Ben Morris.
You know, if Rutz doesn't reach and stick the leg out, he's got a runner with him that might have had an easier look.
Right.
But Connor's got a nose for the ball.
But John, if you just showed up here, and now here's an opportunity, Brett Levi's making his move. But Reese Williams will track back, and he collects it. And John, if you're just flipping the TV on for the first time, you're getting a look at Detroit City FC tonight, you would have no idea what the beginning of the season was like for Detroit City. John, it seems like there's 12 or 13 players out there tonight for Le Rouge.
Yes, finally. This is what this roster was built to do. It's the way Trevor James wants to play. We haven't seen it. We might finally be seeing what he told us in the conference call before the Tampa match, is that he was expecting 6, 7, 8 matches in because of the truncated nature of the USL Championship preseason. He was expecting that with as much roster turnover as DCFC had, it was going to take this long for this team to gel together and learn where each other would be and be able to find their form. Prophetic and maybe a week delayed from where he thought they'd be, but that's what we're seeing tonight.
This portion of our broadcast presented by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers proud to be the premier sponsor of Detroit City FC.
The other thing we're seeing, Neil, plain and simple, is a more physical Detroit City team. That was going to be a key. It was a key all week in training. It was a key all week in the film room for Detroit City FC to be more physical. Not recklessly physical, but physical nonetheless. And they've won a couple of physical battles. They already had Ben Morris kind of win that physical battle to free up Leigh Jope on the goal and free up the shooting lane from a defender coming across. This is a league that there is room for finesse, but you better be able to grind it out physically. And that's what we're seeing more from City.
Brett Levi still down on the turf now, just making his way up, and he looks shaken to say the least. But Detroit City FC has the lead. Leigh Jope did the deal, John, and it was a rocket.
A beautiful strike. First off the chip in, header in. Morris wins the battle, opens up the shooting lane for Jope, and he does not miss. That is a curving, bending, low rocket of a ball, and really nothing Nelson could do. Anytime a ball curves toward the post like that, tough for the keeper to go get it, even if they have a sight on it for a long time. And finally putting one in the back of the net, and predictably Keyworth Stadium went nuts.
Pass chipped ahead, boy, and that was just over top of Reese Williams.
Neil, that's the first time we've really seen the wind play an impact here.
This week's youth team of the match is Detroit City FC Downriver, the 04, 05, 06, 07, and 08. Coached by John Evans, Jason Martin, and Kareem Schroer. The teams did a little bit of community service at Heritage Park, replacing all the nets on the goals. Over 50% of the players on these teams received accolades during their high school season. And combined, the teams are off to a 7-1 start this spring season. So a big shout out to our Metro Detroit Chevy dealers youth teams of the match.
And I'll tell you what, they're getting ready. The youth soccer really kickoff of the summer season, getting ready in about 3 weeks. The Canton Cup. And Heritage Park in Canton going to be one of those venues for one of the premier youth soccer tournaments in the Midwest.
We have another player down for FC Tulsa, Rodrigo da Costa, the all-time leader in matches played for the franchise for FC Tulsa. Over 30 goals for him since 2019. As he walks gingerly over towards the touchline. Blaine Ferry up and getting loose. So this looks like it'll be an early substitution for Blair Gavin, the head coach of FC Tulsa. Gavin's background, he was an assistant coach at Phoenix from 2018 to 2020 during their glory years. Was an assistant coach for the Columbus Crew in the MLS last season. So his hand being forced a bit early on, John.
Takes one of those substitution windows, allows Trevor James to have an extra card in his pocket for late.
Brett Levi's was not in good shape when he was getting up from that injury, and it is official. Brett Levi's out, Blaine Ferry in. And you talked about USL League One. Blaine Ferry spent the last 2 seasons playing with North Texas SC in League One. Also played for the U.S. National U15, U17, and U19 teams as well. Suarez the target. Michael Bryant just goes to battle with him. That's just all that needs to be said. They're going to battle right now.
And Dario's frustrated. You can see it.
Yep.
When Dario didn't get touches in his hot zone up front early, oh, that's a nice layoff.
Epps lays it off. Da Costa slotted through off the post. Blaine Ferry almost leveled this match at 1. And Michael Bryant will clear it out of the 18. So FC Tulsa coming to life out of nowhere.
And after all the possession and all the control and all the physicality, 2 nice touches, and you're back at the other end, and Nate Steinwasser living right. The post helping him out a little bit. That's how quickly this Tulsa team can come at you. That's a beautiful back heel and an even better layoff. And Blaine Ferry, credit, just kept going.
Oftentimes, John, you'll see when a team has been badly outpossessed through the first half hour or so of a match, they pop a chance out of nowhere, and then it just seems to level the match out after that.
And look out now, Dario Suarez gets his first touch, and he takes a little bit of a tumble. He'd been very frustrated for the first half hour. That's the first time Dario's really had a look at the ball anywhere near the neighborhood of goal. And that's what you want to do if you're Detroit City, because here's the thing about Dario Suarez. Really good player, not the most mentally strong player. When he gets frustrated, he can play himself right out of games. And you want to get in his head and get him to that point.
Over 75 matches played for FC Tulsa for Dario Suarez. And we talked about his international experience. Played in the Gold Cup for his native Cuba. Rucci does well to control the possession with the header. And John, it has been exactly that. Connor Rutz, I believe, will get called for that foul. But that chance for FC Tulsa has snapped them into reality here in this match. They've controlled the last 5 minutes.
Yep, and they have. And part of it is, I think they've thrown caution to the wind a little bit. Move the midfielders a little bit further forward, trying to get back into the battle in midfield. They haven't really been good in possession at all. And they're starting to take some more chances, and the chances have opened up the City back line.
The City, though, still with a dominant edge in shots, 7-1.
And Tulsa have not had a shot on target. The shot off the post doesn't count, of course.
Bourgeois controls the aerial duel this time, but City controls the possession now. Morris, Simonson up with him. Simonson wings it out. Bill Hart, can he get on the end of it? He does. His cross sent in. Reese Williams, the target. He had a window for a second. Lay Joe didn't control it, but Dario Suarez did. FC Tulsa on the counter. Ball sent out wide. Youssef's cross is cut out by Amu Mensah. Fernandez. Colin Fernandez will play it back. Lucci drops it back. And the flag goes up. Epps in just ahead of the whistle.
It's a really good job by the City back line, the back three, and a true midfield five across when Tulsa has been in possession for the last couple of minutes. Really congesting things, and the back line staying in shape and springing the offside trap. And the offside flag the other way. No.
Rucci hit with the foul. Yep. He absolutely took out Reese Williams. This 5 minutes of the match presented by Strategic Staffing Solutions, people-powered, customer-centered, community champions. And John, I'll tell you what, too, we've been talking about the flow of this match, and we mentioned how physical Detroit City FC had been, which is a bit of a role reversal for them. FC Tulsa, I don't think it's a coincidence that they've kind of taken control of the match when they met Detroit City's physicality head on with some of their own.
Absolutely. Come in, as they'll say sometimes, you leave a little bit on them. You know, and that's what we've seen Tulsa start to do, meet and match that physicality threshold. And that's knocked City back a little bit.
A beautiful ball slotted up ahead. Dario Suarez.
Dario's been set free a little bit.
Bourgeois with that captain's armband. Signed a homegrown contract with the Houston Dynamo of MLS back in 2015.
City really trying to congest things in midfield again with that midfield five across. Trying to shut down the passing lanes, give some extra support to the back three when Tulsa are in possession. They'd be happy with Tulsa keeping possession right where they are, but this is that moment where City's kind of gone off the boil a little bit. The physicality's come up from their opponent. Need to not get passive. That's been their Achilles heel this year. In these moments where opponents have gotten possession, just laying off the ball. Got to keep that aggressive nature up.
Bourgeois tries the direct route, and it connects. Joseph to the middle. Da Costa. Rucci. Rucci gets it back. Now Epps, that shot, and that's off the post. FC Tulsa has hit both posts here at Keyworth tonight.
They're a crossbar away from winning the challenge. And Nate Steinwasser beaten again. And the man with cat-like reflexes has used a couple of his 9 lives. That's a beautiful bending ball off the inside of the post. And if that goes about an inch or two further on it, it goes off the post across, and I would bet in. But sometimes you get let off the hook a little bit. City been let off the hook twice.
That man Marcus Epps, he's been impressive here tonight for FC Tulsa. 25th overall pick of the Philadelphia Union back in 2017. Played 32 matches for the Union. Also played 3 matches for the New York Red Bulls in MLS in 2019. He's been high quality here this evening.
Further example, by the way, going back to the point we were making earlier about how strong this league is. What is it, 11, 12 guys on the Tulsa roster that have had some experience in an MLS system?
Yep, 11 players.
Roster's getting deep in the USL Championship, especially on the Eastern Conference side of things. It is not a top-heavy conference anymore.
That's been an interesting dynamic as well, because last season we spent that entire year talking about the Western Conference and how you don't want those problems and and all that kind of stuff. But you know, as you said, John, this East has really taken a step forward this season.
The East has risen to where the West has always been, and it is going to be that way. And I think part of that is, frankly, the exit of the MLS-controlled clubs. When you start to see clubs thinking, acting, building rosters on their own. Yes, there's some loans. Yes, there's some development deals. But when you have a situation like when Loudoun United was controlled by DC United, NY Red Bulls 2, Atlanta United 2, those teams are in service to their MLS clubs. It's not about building the division. Now, the Eastern Conference clubs are about winning the Eastern Conference.
This 5 minutes of the broadcast presented by Ally. Ally, proud to be the official financial services partner of DCFC. Learn more at ally.com. Now Skage Simonson turning up the heat one more time. So it looks like, John, for this last 5 minutes of the half, maybe Detroit City FC calling the dogs back out a little bit.
They have to, because what we've seen is the trouble this team gets into is when they aren't aggressive. They don't have it right now to be able to be passive and hold the line. Bad things happen.
Epps with the cross. Steinwasser, good anticipation off the line.
They're just a better side when they have their foot on the gas.
We've talked about Nate Steinwasser, certainly talked about him a lot last week during the match. 80% save percentage, 0.88 goals against average, first in the USL Championship in saves. Through all the offensive struggles, number 1 has kept LaRouge in a lot of matches this year.
Yep, and he needs some help from his friends. He commands his area very well, reads the game very well.
This is a 3v3 on the other side. Youssef will let go of the shot, and it was blocked by Stephen Carroll. Boy, the captain was calm, collected, and ready.
Didn't snatch at it, just got the body in position. He will gladly surrender the corner instead of letting the cross go through with 2 runners coming on the backside of it.
Rodrigo da Costa will service the corner for FC Tulsa.
Taking some time over the ball as the officials in sorting out, Eric Tattersall in sorting out some extracurriculars.
Ball sent in through the mixing bowl. FC Tulsa wants a handball, and they will get it. Penalty awarded to FC Tulsa.
Eric Tattersall took his time, didn't blow the whistle immediately, and now we're going to have a yellow card for Bryant. Let's have a look. Here's the corner in.
Around. Yeah, right there.
Hand in an unnatural position. That's cut, dried, letter of the law. You got to call it. You got your hand up over the edge. Now, some people will say he's jumping. Where's his hand supposed to go? You don't jump with your hand over your head.
Dario Suarez with a chance to strike against Detroit City FC again. Here we go. Steinwasser on the line. Suarez finishes. And we are level at 1. And just like last season, Dario Suarez scores here at Keyworth.
That's the second straight week that Nate Steinwasser has been beaten on a penalty going down the middle when he dives to one side. Here's the replay of the handball again. Absolutely a handball, 100%. And then he goes down the middle, and Steinwasser dives, can't make the save, and it is 1-1. To Dario's credit, though, he didn't go over and try to taunt the northern guard. He went to the corner. And that changes the game, changes the team talks at halftime.
And now Detroit City FC with an opportunity, a late corner.
Because for all City's good moments, the last 10 minutes where they've been off the boil led up to this.
There will be 4 minutes of stoppage time, brought to you by Brew Detroit, the official craft beer of Detroit City FC. Corner service is flicked across.
Brian in there trying to make something happen. Couldn't get ahead on it.
Folks, make sure you stay tuned at halftime for a special look ahead to the Detroit City FC's women's side as they prep for the 2023 season. You don't want to miss that one. That ball checks up, runs out over the touchline. Suarez flicks the throw ahead. Amu Mensah controls it. Amu Mensah trying to connect with Simonson. Suarez and Michael Bryant mix it up. Good touch by Simonson. Bill Hart unable to get on the end of it. About halfway through stoppage time. Neil Rule, John Krieger with you. 1-1 the score.
Both teams, Neil, looking, I think, like they'd like to get to the locker rooms. Pace of the game has dropped a little bit here in the last minute.
Bourgeois ping it up ahead. FC Tulsa, they've had some success going up that right side.
That's a really good challenge. And then another right back. The physicality being allowed to go by the official, and both teams going into challenges, strong shoulder challenges.
Rucci with it. And then we'll go all the way in towards Nate Steinwasser.
Smart, he can pick that up. Never went off a City boot. And I think he's probably under instructions to kill some clock and help get to the dressing room.
Now a throw for City here in the dying moments. Michael Bryant wants to pick up the pace a little bit. Maybe squeeze one last opportunity. Great touch there by Marcus Epps.
Send this one up into the mixing bowl. See what happens.
He's looking for the proper clearance from Suarez. I believe that will be the game plan. Chipped up ahead, coming off the line and making the grab is Nelson, and the whistle will sound. So Detroit City FC held an early lead for the majority of the first half. FC Tulsa, though, able to equalize off a handball called inside the box. And we will go to the halftime break. Level at 1. As always, halftime presented by Stroh's. Stroh's is spoken here. 1-1 the score. Detroit City FC and FC Tulsa. Big second half coming up next. We'll be back for more USL Championship soccer.
There's a beer in the D for me and you. From Royal Oak to Jefferson Avenue, grab a friend and a jersey too, and chant like you give a damn. Now we're talking Detroit, and Stroh's is spoken here.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
So you should see the report in your inboxes in just 1 second.
This is what should have happened. At least 3 days before starting his project, Bob should have called 811 or went to missdig811.org to have his local utility providers locate and mark the location of buried lines in his yard. Dig safely.
Okay, so you should see your report in your inboxes now.
Call Miss Dig 811.
This is how legends are made.
2024 Chevy Silverado HD with Duramax diesel. And the Chevy Silverado with powerful TurboMax engine. No matter what route you take, there's a Chevy truck to get you there. Find new roads. Or GM employees with a current eligible lease can get this Silverado for $309 a month. Chevy drives the Motor City. Visit ChevyDetroit.com.
Welcome back to halftime, presented by Stroh's here at Keyworth. 1-1 the score. Detroit City FC and FC Tulsa. And we talked about it earlier during the match. The women's side for Detroit City FC, they are getting ready for their 2023 season. As a matter of fact, it kicks off this weekend. Let's take a look as they prepared for their run.
I think last year was tough for us. You know, we didn't get the results that we really wanted. We put in a lot of work, but sometimes it just doesn't work out the way we wanted to. You know, showing the fans that, hey, we can play, we can compete for a top spot in the league. I think that's really what we take away, and it just makes us even hungrier coming back for this year.
We still have that core group that has that chemistry that we had from last year, so bringing that on and then adding the new players just brings that new mix of chemistry, and it's just been great. Just at preseason, everybody's meshed pretty well. We don't have a full brand new team, but I feel like we do. But just to showcase this team that we have and just show everybody what we can do this year.
I mean, I met Dave prior just from being at the men's games. He's been coming to our games. He's absolutely obsessed with soccer in a good way. And, you know, having him now being our coach, he's going to be a great asset for us, his experience as a player here. And I think we're gonna have a good season coming up.
The USLW League is really strong. I think for a college player looking to stay sharp, they're going to get competition within their team and from the opponents that'll prepare them well for the college season. I want it to be universally something that they look back on and say, hey, that was a really fun summer. I got a lot out of it. I met a group of friends that I'm going to stay in touch with. You know, I think those are the things that sustain you over time.
This team is something really special, and we've had a pretty solid core group of girls from the start, and now they're my family. There's always frustration when you're not getting the results you want, but it definitely didn't change our attitude, and it didn't change for our love for each other on and off the field, and so I think we're just using it as hunger, and we're ready to come back even harder and even stronger this year.
Still coming forward, moves it off to the far side, the shot comes off, and it's in! Oh my goodness!
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Do it.
Come on, Jack, get me.
Ooh, nice play. All right, go. There we go.
So cute.
At Ally, we're helping millions save more for the things that matter most to them. Whatever you're saving for, we're all better off with an Ally.
Get back to work.
Welcome back to historic Keyworth Stadium. Halftime brought to you by Stroh's. Neil Rule, John Krieger back with you. 1-1 the score through the first 45 minutes of play. And John, let's take a look at the news and notes. Everything going on around USL Championship as we roll into the month of May. And of course, John, ESPN2, Lou City FC hosting Miami FC. That's coming up May 13th on ESPN2. So a little national primetime USL Championship action.
And that's going to be a fun atmosphere for those two clubs as the season really starts to hit its stride. It's appointment viewing on ESPN.
No question about that. And Richard Chaplow, his departure as well. Remember, Orange County SC, they won the USL Championship back in 2021, so they have parted ways.
Sometimes you got to make a change. They've determined the time is right.
And now the USL Championship scoreboard. And we were talking about Loudoun United earlier in the broadcast. They have a 1-0 lead against Indy 11. And oh, by the way, the Tampa Bay Rowdies look like they're getting right.
You know, you talked about it last week. It wasn't the Tampa we were expecting. We saw the Tampa we were expecting grow into it last week here at Keyworth, picking up right where they left off against Phoenix.
And Memphis 901 FC with the lead over Hartford Athletic as well. So the match is off and running. Let's take a look at what's going on a little bit later on tonight and into next week. And John, I know how you operate. You will get out of here, you'll go straight home, and you'll fire up Orange County and San Diego Loyal.
You know it, man. Go home, have a little refreshment, turn on the late night action, and get ready for next week. Take a look at that schedule. Lou City and Miami FC. You've got Charleston and San Antonio, Pittsburgh and Birmingham. Next weekend's going to be a fun one here on ESPN+.
Absolutely. This one has been a fun one as well. 1-1 the score. Halftime brought to you by Stroh's, Detroit City FC, and FC Tulsa. So we will take a break, come back, and get you ready to rock for the second half. Don't go anywhere. This is USL Championship Soccer.
Brilliant Detroit's mission is to help create kid success neighborhoods where all the kids and the families have what they need to be healthy, getting education and family support. We do that by getting houses in the middle of the neighborhood that we repurpose to really serve as a central hub. We are currently nestled in neighborhoods in Detroit. We are represented in every district, and our goal is to have 24 in the next 4 years.
Literacy is a gateway from poverty, and we want our children to be well-versed as well as well-prepared.
We want to make sure that kids are ready for kindergarten and they're reading at grade level by 3rd grade. The statistics are clear, right? You're learning to read up to 3rd grade, you're reading to learn after that. If you do not know how to read or read well, you're going to be behind.
All this stuff has really just been great for a dad to be able to go to a program, get this help academically.
So when we go home, we won't have to feel ashamed that we can't help our kids with a homework package, because at the same time, as they're growing, we're growing too.
And what we really want to do is accomplish what I would call population level growth. So grow enough where we can fundamentally change the statistics.
I am American Home Fitness.
I'm American Home Fitness.
I am American Home Fitness.
We are American Home Fitness.
Come to any American Home Fitness location for the hottest deals on the latest fitness equipment and accessories. American Home Fitness, Michigan's home for fitness and the official fitness equipment provider of the Detroit City Football Club.
Welcome back inside historic Keyworth Stadium. 1-1 the score, getting ready to go for the second half of action. Speaking of action, let's take a look at the first 45 minutes of play as we take a look at the highlights. And John, to start this match, you and I talked about it, probably the best 20 minutes of soccer that Detroit City FC had played all season long. And after that shot was sent wide, Detroit City FC went to work.
They absolutely ground down FC Tulsa in the first 20 minutes of the match. And you get in, a header on. Here's the first goal at Keyworth in league play this season. Laid Jope with a clear shooting lane and a bending, blistering rocket of a ball toward the post and in. And Keyworth celebrated. And then more where that came from. Morris coming through. A little bit of a layoff from Simonson. And then he has to go, and Nelson has to reach back on a rebound and make a very good save, almost from his backside. Fast forward to the 39th minute. Here comes FC Tulsa. A little bit of a rope-a-dope. They get unlucky as Epps fires in. Steinwasser's beaten, and it's off the post. And then in the 45th minute, this one's clear. The handball law, cut and dried, Stonewall penalty, and Dario Suarez, one of the boogeymen for Detroit City FC, always seems to find his way on the score sheet here at Keyworth. Cool, calm, and collected down the middle, and we're tied at 1.
Now let's check out the numbers from the first 45 minutes of play. And at one time, John, Detroit City FC had a 7-1 edge in shots. And FC Tulsa able to flip the script on that. They turned up the physicality and they leveled the match.
And you know what? Flip the script is right, because Detroit City FC hasn't had a shot on target in 20 minutes. And that coincides with an increase in physicality by Tulsa and in better midfield play by Tulsa, and frankly, DCFC going off the boil. They have to get back on the gas pedal here in the second half.
FC Tulsa will control to start. 45 minutes to go. Everything on the line. Both sides would really, really enjoy 3 points, to say the least.
Neil, you know what? Enjoy is one word. Frankly, need is another. You're starting to get to the point, you're 9 matches in. I'm not talking about must-win matches, but you take a look at Detroit City's next 4. You got to find a way to get something here.
Michael Bryant sends that one up ahead. Tommy McCabe will play it back. Morris attempts to make his move, unable to catch up to it. This portion of the match is brought to you by American Home Fitness. Train like a champion with equipment from American Home Fitness. Now Momensa will get on the end of that FC Tulsa throw. Nate Steinwasher, in his 8th season with Detroit City FC. Job controls it. Now some room. Morris sends it out. Reese Williams steps over. He crosses it in. Amu Mensah. Can Job catch up to what he does? Job hesitates. Has it touched away by Eric Bird. And we have a player down behind the play for FC Tulsa. Is that Rodrigo da Costa? I believe it is.
And he is so hurt that while he's down, he has the opportunity to remonstrate with the official. That's a special kind of injury, when you're down and can still grip.
And the FC Tulsa athletic training staff back out there.
Yeah, that wasn't that heavy. That's cream puff. That happens in the normal course of football. And how I know you're not that hurt is when the referee was within 5 yards of you, you focused more on talking to him than you did on the trainer coming out. But we'll leave that.
So Detroit City FC, you get a look at Adrian Billhart. We talked about him a lot during last week's match as well. John really continuing his ascent. We mentioned his time at USL League One, the USL League One Comeback Player of the Year last year. And you mentioned it, you know, not only has he shown that he belongs, he's thrived, and he's been a factor in matches.
Absolutely. He's a physical presence. He has the ability to control midfield. He has the ability to provide service. He is also, when you take a look at his time in League One, if you ask people down in that division about the way that he played, he was a good locker room guy, a leader. And you can never have too many of those guys who will buy in and do what you need to do.
So now a corner opportunity presented by Mistake 811. Know what's below? Visit mistake811.org before any digging project. Billhart sends it in. Flicked away.
Here's the other thing, Neil Rule. Maxia Rodriguez has been the guy who's been on a lot of set pieces for Detroit City over the last couple of years. I will tell you that I think Billhart is as good or better at depositing a set piece where it needs to be at times.
Reese Williams along that far touchline. He's going to work.
This is what we saw from Detroit City FC in the first 20 minutes of the match. They're right back to it. Foot is back on the gas pedal, pressuring the ball.
Forcing mistakes like that.
2 men there closing down a passing lane, forcing the Tulsa player to continue to retreat to try to move out. Stepping in. Oh, look at Amu Mensah. He was in an advanced position, got back, read the passing lane, and was there to make the interception.
Joe plays it off. Connor Rutz slots it ahead. Jope on the end of it. Wings it out. Reese Williams. His cross in is cut out.
Cross might have been a bit early from Reese. There were players still getting there. It allowed for a clear sight line for an aerial duel win by the defender.
Ben Morris turns, has his shot blocked. Reese Williams has that cut out, and it will go out for another corner. Next 5 minutes of this match brought to you by the all-new Detroit City FC app. Download it now for app-exclusive video content, man of the match voting, and more. And now we got another FC Tulsa player down.
2.
Bradley Bourgeois, the captain, looks like a boot issue.
But again, he still has time while he's down to debate with the official. You gotta love it.
And folks, you can scan the QR code on your screen now and subscribe to the Detroit City FC YouTube channel for exclusive content, full-length interviews, and extended match highlights as well. You know you got your phone right there. Scan the code. Subscribe to the Detroit City FC YouTube page. Corner sent in towards the back post, and it's headed just wide by Stephen Carroll.
Elevation in the area, and he didn't miss by much. Caught it off the side of the head.
Fernandez will swing it back out. Yosef makes his move through. Ferry. Cross. Played over the line. Michael Bryant able to put out that fire, at least temporarily.
Set piece opportunity here for Tulsa.
Nate Steinwasser will begin the project of directing traffic. Marcus Epps right there in front of him. City able to handle the corner.
Look at that gain of about 5 yards there in the gamesmanship on the throw.
I usually prefer to call that real estate acquisition.
Okay. Is that the M&A department?
I think that's what it is. It's an art form.
It is indeed.
Ben Morris with the challenge.
Decent layoff there and a nice try for the 1-2.
Bill Hart in a battle. Amu Mensah will take control. Amu Mensah, 2 hands in the back. Milo Yusuf will just get the talking to, no booking.
And frankly, I think that's probably the right decision. I don't know, it's a 2-handed shove, but not violent. It was professional, but it was also going backward. If that's close to the goal, you might see a booking, but Amu Mensah was gonna play it backward, and it's going backward. So I don't think you're gonna see a booking. You wouldn't see a booking there.
Simonson was the target. Da Costa pings it out. Here comes Epps on the move. Epps, the shot, and it's actually stopped. It got past Steinwasser, and I believe Amu Mensah played it away.
Well, there's your early candidate for man of the match. Yikes, that
let's see it one more
Steinwasser beaten
time.
again. And Amu Mensah, heads up play. Epps comes in. Yeah, Steinwasser's beaten. That's Amu Mensah making the save. 2 posts and a defender save tonight.
And that corner went right to Epps, and he misfired on it. That's the first mistake that Epps has made here tonight. He has flat out been a problem, has Marcus Epps been for Detroit City.
He is so fast on the counter. That's where Tulsa's just been absolutely dangerous. From about 25 minutes tonight, they have let Detroit City FC have possession for large swaths of the match. And then all of a sudden, they'll flick a switch and beyond. And Epps has the pace just to burn just about anybody.
Reese Williams cross. Simonson battles for it. Tommy McCabe settles it down. Ball blistered in towards the back post, but coming off the line is Nelson. And John, I'll tell you what, that's the first time we've said Michael Nelson's name in a minute.
His back line in front of him has really stepped it up.
Lots of space to work for Eric Bird. Yosef sends it over. And now City will come out a little more aggressively to ask questions. Simonson. Suarez on the left side. Extended possession now for FC Tulsa. Bird again.
Look where the extended possession has taken them, though. City will take that, being able to force back the opponent. And even though Tulsa were in possession, they lost about 30 yards of real estate. Kind of took some pressure off, and that's what City need with a half hour to go.
Steinwasser played that one away.
With a half hour to go here, Neil, let's be real about an issue for Detroit City FC. And that is that there are really 2 LaRouges. There's the LaRouge when they're in attack and choose to press the ball and be on the front foot, and they can run with about anybody. And then there's the LaRouge that takes 2 steps back from that and really allow their opponents to grow into a match. There is no neutral. The best winning clubs take 2 steps forward and might allow 1 step back. What ends up happening with Detroit City FC is they take 2 steps forward and then they take 2 steps back. And sometimes when they take 2 steps back, that's when they get beat. So what this group of players need to do is figure out how to play forward and neutral, not forward and off the ball.
Quick throw in for Detroit City FC. Simonson trying to control it, and does. And look for Connor Rutz.
If that cross is a little higher, Rutz is in all alone and onside.
Joe toe poke ahead. Bill Hart puts just a little too much mustard on the hot dog. Steinwasser way off the line, and boy, Marcus Epps was out in space. He has been a problem.
And will continue to be, I think. He unsettles the back line.
City will try the right side. Ball ahead looking for Reese Williams.
Tulsa's back line appears to be much calmer right now, Neil. They look more composed. getting in, not as mindful of City coming forward because City haven't been that aggressive. They started strong in the second half and again backed off of it.
I believe we will see Trevor James, his first chess move of the evening. Yazid Matthews has handed his card in. Simonson.
Nice control to reverse.
Job. Job sends it through. Turn, shot, stop is made. Ben Morris denied by Michael Nelson.
And that might be his last touch of the game, as I would expect that Yazid will come in for Morris.
Prime opportunity for Detroit City.
And good job by Nelson, by the way, to hold on to that. If he spills it, it's 2-1. There's a runner coming on the back post, would have easily gathered up the rebound.
Blaine Ferry, who came on as an early sub in the first half, turns back with it. So Yazzie Matthews will come on, and Ben Morris will be the one to come off. We talked earlier, Dario Suarez, who has a goal here tonight, scored against Detroit City last September. Yazzie Matthews had a goal in that match also for Le Rouge. And as always, substitutions brought to you by CVY. CVY, wear it, feel it, play it. CVY is luxury performance wear. And now it's time to get you our trivia answer coming up momentarily. And the ball goes back towards Nate Steinwasser. Tonight's Fago trivia answer, Madison Duncan. She played a huge role in the 2021 squad, and you can catch her in the 2023 USLW home opener against Flint City AFC next weekend right here at Keyworth. Go to DebtCityFC.com and be a part of it.
You know what excites me most? I want to see how the team, the women's side, play under Dave Dwahey. This is a guy who really loves the game, really loves helping players grow. Remember, the women's side is still filled with the collegiate ranks, and you need someone who's committed to helping those players grow. Dave Dwahey, of course, one of the co-owners of Detroit City FC, been a high school soccer coach at Grosse Pointe Woods University Liggett for years. To see him step up and take charge of the women's side over the summer, he's the kind of leader, the kind of coach to help the side build on what it is becoming. It's going to be a fun summer with a lot of matches packed in and the chance to follow the club home and away. A lot of close regional matches.
Deep throw for FC Tulsa. And it's in, an Epps shot. I believe that was partially blocked. FC Tulsa will control along the far touchline.
As we pass the hour mark, Neil Rule, the good news is Detroit City have a goal at home. The bad news is they are very lucky not to be down 2 or 3-1.
Josef sends it in. There's a takeaway by Joe. And this could be a booking, and it will be. Rashid Teta, the guilty party.
A well-disguised professional foul. It looks to the untrained eye like he just ran into him. That was If you take a look at the body positioning, he came over and left the leg in, and that's why he got the booking.
Ball sent on the wing. The wind still with us, was blowing about 15 miles per hour at the start of the match. It's calmed down a little, but it is still a factor. As Reese Williams makes his way back. Played 32 matches last year for Detroit City FC.
Nelson taking some time here.
Simonson flicks it ahead. Yazid Matthews just came into the match.
And that'll be a throw in the city.
Yes, it will be, and it's very quickly executed. Here's Jope. Jope has it poked away. Another throw coming up. Stephen Carroll can't connect on his pass. Then it's taken away on the other side. Yazid Matthews steps around. Yazid Matthews lays it off. And Reese Williams has it taken away. But Rutz will take it back. His cross blocked.
Bit of a wasted opportunity there. City got caught up in their own feet.
A frantic couple of seconds here.
Pass in, and then very quick to come in and close down the ball. Colin Fernandez.
Here's a 1v1 on the other side. Yosef against Amu Mensah. Yosef makes his way through, and the captain, Stephen Carroll, comes back to neutralize the threat.
It is not often that you see Devin Amu Mensah lose a physical battle on the ball, but he got taken off of it, and Stephen Carroll doing what he can.
Here was the 1v1 battle.
Two very physical challenges.
And fans, remember, Select, the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit www.us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Select, the player's choice. Eric Bird slots it up ahead. Yosef lays it off. Da Costa. Da Costa curls it towards the back post. Michael Bryant. Very steady, taking that one away.
That elevated a bit on the cross. Gave Bryant the chance to come in and take care of business. 22 minutes here to go plus stoppage time, Neil, and we need to see more of the Detroit City we saw in the first 20 minutes. Tulsa are clearly the team playing on the front foot right now.
Stephen Carroll cleared that one up ahead. Connor Rutz in the mix, lost control of it. Bird. Lots of space here. Yosef steps through. And there's another physical battle. Michael Bryant in the mix.
But then quickly trying to play the ball forward, and you're playing it into a 1v3 situation. Set something up. If you play a ball forward into a 1v3 situation, There are very few offensive players in the world that are going to be able to take something and make that happen. Get some control of the ball. You got your goal in the opening 20 minutes because you had sustained possession, built something, and then got the opportunity and took it.
Now see Matthews tracks back to take it away. Simonson does well to keep it, sends it into space. Here's Bill Hart. Rutt's running with him. Bill Hart's cross running in was Reese Williams. Couldn't get on the end of it. Simonson still has it. Simonson spilled to the turf. Bill Hart able to collect it at least temporarily. Da Costa does well to keep it. McCabe will be called for the foul, and Detroit City will not like this one. And you can be the referee at home.
That's tough.
Tommy McCabe agrees. Tommy McCabe, 59 matches played for Orange County SC the last 2 years. Of course, won the USL Championship back in 2021.
Neil, the one thing you don't want to be as an official is perceived as being arbitrary. There have been a lot of physical challenges that have been let go tonight. So when you've established that standard and you blow the whistle for one, it had better be one. And otherwise you risk things getting away from you.
There was a stoppage there for Marcus Epps. Looked like he was taking pills and washing him down with some water. And we've said it's a physical altercation, you know, maybe.
I mean, maybe you need to pop some
Motrin.
ibuprofen.
Yep. And that cross rocketed across the pitch.
I mean, he's had to do some battle with some pretty physical guys.
And that pass taken away. Bill Hart. FC Tulsa able to get back successfully. Here's Jope. Reese Williams along that far touchline. Cross sent in. Simonson collects it. Jope lets it go wide of the frame.
That was another heat check, my friend. That was closer to the corner flag than it was the goal. And he was trying to have another go.
Lay Jope, the goal scorer early on for Detroit City, letting it fly.
So good by Simonson here to play it back. But Lay Jope did not have the clear shooting lane that he had in the first half. It's okay to let that one develop and do something else with it.
Suarez making a run. Boy, how about that play from Michael Bryant?
And then
how
controls
good was
it.
that?
Got the leg out and kept the control.
Amu Mensah with it, 74th minute. The screws continue to tighten here at Keyworth.
See, Neil, this is too passive. Move. You got a lot of people standing here. First 20 minutes, everybody was moving with and without the ball. You got 10 guys, and I get it. They've been running for 75 minutes, but you got to move.
And some good news, I think, for Detroit City. Marcus Epps is coming out of the match. Here in the 74th minute, Moses Dyer will check in, the native of New Zealand. Played for the New Zealand U20 national team in the 2017 World Cup.
And then they call the foul against Detroit City and give a booking.
Clay Jope will get his money's worth.
Well, let's have a look. For what?
Jope was saying that the boots came up on him.
For what? Okay.
That will be the third yellow issued to Detroit City FC here tonight.
The only thing I can figure is that Lay said something. Wow. In that replay,
FC Tulsa with the control. Here's Bird again. He's had some success on this right flank.
That's better by Detroit City. Get in there and make Nelson do something. Force the issue a little bit. That's a great challenge.
Boy, the captain, Stephen Carroll. We have seen some sparkling play from the Le Rouge back line here in the second half.
See, but then Carroll makes the play, and then they immediately play it backwards, and they're not moving. Now, I know about 10 minutes ago I said don't rush, but there's a difference between that and stand back there and then play a long ball.
Mamu Mensah comes flying over towards the Detroit City bench. DCFC has the throw. Billhart directing traffic. Michael Nelson will collect it.
Tulsa unafraid to play it out from the back and very good movement. See, that's movement without the ball. Now, the pass forward was too much. But did you see the 1-2 passing and the movement without the ball to create those passing lanes? That's what Tulsa's done in the last 50 minutes that Detroit City really hasn't.
Ozzie Matthews flicks that one ahead. Nelson sends that one right to Jope. Back heel ahead, Connor Rutt's unable to catch up to it, and the foul is called. And this will be a prime opportunity.
Push in the back. The referee waited a moment, blew the whistle. And yeah, that's pretty clear foul.
Adrian Billhart, Connor Rutz, both standing over.
And the official is going to calmly point out that the full 10 yards was not observed.
And we have moved into the 79th minute.
So the referee will reposition things and watch as Tulsa will try to reclaim that real estate. There we go.
It's a game of real estate acquisition, as I like to say.
There we go. He'll turn his back and wait for the 1 or 2 steps forward. Now, caught him again.
Connor Rutz and Adrian Billhart. Billhart lets it go and sends it just over top of the crossbar.
Rode the wind a bit on him, Neil. Got up there. I think it wanted to dip and just kind of hung up. Good effort.
There's another look at it. It did. It wanted to dip. That foul will go against Detroit City. USL fans, don't miss a minute of the action in 2023, whether your club's on the road or at home. Catch nearly every second of USL Championship action on ESPN Plus the home to the USL La Liga, the Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Sign up today at plus.espnplus.com.
Shall we talk again about how that's the best investment in soccer?
Well, I say in streaming sports.
I mean, I would agree with you.
There is always a game of some fashion on somewhere, no matter what time of the day or night it is. Momensa slings that one ahead. Simonson pings it out. Reese Williams. Reese Williams, the cross. Nobody on the other end.
Half a meter too far. Runners coming in.
Reese Williams just a little bit out in front with the cross. Williams again, able to keep the possession. Ball chipped up towards the back post. Can Bill Hart catch up to it? He does in the corner, but the flag is up. Jacob Little, the assistant referee, makes the call. And USL fans, Paco Craig leads Miami FC into Kentucky to face Josh Winder and the reigning Eastern Conference champions, Lou City FC. Don't miss the start of the new season on USL on ESPN Saturday, May 13th at 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. And here's a chance. Youssef swings it out. Suarez, his shot blocked. Has it again, has it go? It's loose in front. And the whistle sounds, and what do we have? Foul against FC Tulsa. That got uncomfortable for a minute.
I'll tell you what, for the first time tonight, City's back line looked a little bit out of sorts. Created a whole lot of openings for Tulsa to come in on. Retreating off the ball, weird deflection, nice little chip. Steinwasser came too late, gets directed away from him, and I think it's the foul on Steinwasser that gets the whistle. The little bump on Steinwasser there. That is what eventually gets called.
Eric Bird. As it touched away, it will be a throw for FC Tulsa here in the 83rd minute.
In about 2 minutes, the Northern Guard will start to rev the engines and elevate the volume here, as they usually do in the 85th.
Bill Hart can't control that one, but Amu Mensah cut out the attempted pass. Yazid Matthews tracks back, and Amu Mensah, as my good friend John Krieger likes to say, the old ABH clearance.
And for those of you who are joining late to the party, that's anywhere but here. Oh, watch out. This could be dangerous. This could be a red. That's lucky to be a yellow.
And Reese Williams spilled Michael Nelson, the keeper, and it will be a second yellow.
And he was already on a booking.
And it will be a red.
Yeah. And frankly, plain and simple, he lost control of his mind for a minute. There was no need to make that challenge. And Trevor James' motto is you start with 11, you finish with 11. Yeah, the ball's half a meter away from the keeper, and immediately you get up and you wait. Yeah, you took him out. Frankly, if he hadn't already been on a booking, I could have seen that been a straight red. It was reckless. It took out the keeper. It took out his plant leg. Reese Williams can have no argument. He just had a stupid.
And the after effect of it is Detroit City FC will play the rest of this match with 10 men.
There is zero reason to make that challenge. None.
So
you weren't going to get that ball.
So Michael Nelson will restart it, and FC Tulsa now with the advantage, and we will see some stirring on that bench for Trevor James. He has only used one sub so far here tonight. Steinwasser off the line will make the grab. And John, I think being down a man, now the focus shifts.
Save the point.
Protect your point.
Yep. Save the point.
Simonson wings it out wide. Connor Rutz. Ball never got to him.
And you can tell Tulsa smells blood. Look at how quickly they're trying to move forward. Pin Detroit City FC back. That's a ball we've seen them play back to the keeper earlier tonight.
Yazid Matthews will be called for that foul. And this isn't something you want to see a lot of when you're playing with 10 men.
Set piece into the mixing bowl? Nope.
The math is not on your side. Service in, Steinwasser off the line. It was flicked out wide. So will be a goal kick.
Decent set piece in. Trying to do exactly what we talk about.
Moses Dyer, the target.
Send it in there. 5 bodies around Steinwasser for Tulsa. He was left on an island.
Yazid Matthews pings that one into the corner. And this will be a booking on Yazid Matthews.
Detroit City FC getting reckless right now, Neil. Let's have a look. Maybe not as reckless as I thought. Look at how far forward the Tulsa back three are, Neil. They are going for all 3 points here. They're going to put the screws to Detroit City FC, who have really got to batten down the hatches for the last 8 minutes or so.
And Dyer's ball will help Detroit City FC's cause. 88th minute. What are you thinking? 5-ish for stoppage time?
That's what I was thinking.
No.
By the way, I think we have about 7 minutes left. And we're going to see Dominic Gasso and Cy Goddard, 2 midfielders coming on.
Here comes Bird up that right flank. We've said that a lot here in the second half. Bird drives it. Steinwasser grabs it. Here comes Bird on that right flank. This cross played away by Amu Mensah. Boy, Amu Mensah's been strong here tonight.
He has, including a save off the line.
Temporarily, they'll play it back to Bourgeois, but he will ping it up ahead. Rucci had it, has it back. Getting ready to move into the 90th minute. Trevor James ready to make a couple of subs. And Stephen Carroll holds the fort temporarily. Ball came back to Ferry. Touched out wide. Da Costa service. That was blocked by Stephen Carroll. He's everywhere. Da Costa turns with it.
Teddy will take that, forcing Tulsa back.
Tedda. Ferry to the middle. And that's taken away by Bryant. Can they attack on it? They cannot. Yazid Matthews couldn't quite find it. Bryant made a run. Now on the other side, ball redirected. Steinwasser closes the door.
That was a straight reflex save. It bounced in and skimmed in on Nate. And now Dario Suarez has a cramp.
This will allow the substitutions for Detroit City FC. But Nate Steinwasser rising to the occasion, and you're right, John. That's just instinct.
That is just with the legs, straight reflex.
Kick save and a beauty.
And for the record, that's a heck of a run by Dario Suarez.
It was.
He is not anybody in Detroit's favorite player, but he earned the credit on that one. He followed that ball and stretched the body to the limit, and I think that created the cramp.
Bill Hart and Simonson will come out. And I'll tell you what, John, too, you're talking about Dario Suarez, and Detroit City fans probably won't enjoy this conversation, but you may mention the fact how frustrated he was over the first 30 minutes of this match. He circled the wagons, and he's been a problem.
He played himself into it, and has been a factor.
Corner service. Steinwasser got a piece of it. To whereas maybe a younger Dario Suarez would have continued to be taken out of the match.
He would have sulked.
Yeah.
This is a guy who got a 6-month suspension back in 2017 for violence toward an official. That was who he was.
That shot goes over top of everything, and since that time has played in over 75 matches for FC Tulsa.
Yep.
Detroit City FC will take this, and Nate Steinwasser will take his time. There will be 4 minutes of stoppage time. And as always, stoppage time brought to you by Brew Detroit, the official craft beer of Detroit City FC.
And I'll be honest with it, I said he wasn't as mentally strong. He's played mentally strong tonight. Better than I've seen him play in a while.
Gasso in there for Detroit City. Can they hold on for about 2 more minutes? And let's be real, John. Detroit City FC, they need points of any form, of any fashion.
They'll take one here. They would have really liked 3 heading into the gauntlet they have coming up. But the red card changed things. Now you don't want to come out with nothing. Remember how solid Detroit City FC was in the first half on throw-ins? Better plays. That wasn't that. Gave away possession almost immediately.
Now Momensa will head that one back to Steinwasser just in front of Moses Dyer.
That header had to be right.
That takes confidence. And it was just right enough.
Tulsa not playing for the point here. DCFC don't like the real estate acquisition.
Nope. But in every real estate transaction, there's a winner and a loser. Remember that. Yosef looking to make his move. Goddard couldn't stay with them. Yosef's cross is into the 18. It's loose. The shot. Steinwasser goes down and makes the grab. Boy, Da Costa couldn't get everything he wanted on it. It let Steinwasser grab a hold of it.
And his reaction tells you all you need to know. If he strikes that true, it's 2-1 Tulsa, and he fluffed his lines a bit. Comes in, header down, nice control. Defender closes that, rushed the shot a little bit.
It's their time for another FC Tulsa attack. We are at the limit of stoppage time. Ball up ahead. Michael Bryant back. He plays it away.
Just send it up long. Take your point.
And he does. Look for Yazzie Matthews. There was a little bit of extra time for the substitution. That's probably what we're in right now. But there can't be much left. Stephen Carroll stands his ground. Suarez has it. Suarez shot. Steinwasser the grab. And that should just about do it.
Credit to FC Tulsa. When they smelled blood in the water, they kept going. Headline will be Detroit City survive and get a point.
The final whistle sounds, and this match ends in a 1-1 draw. Detroit City FC playing the last portion of the match with just 10 men, able to hold on to the point. And tonight's man of the match is Lay Jope. He got the early goal. Got everybody feeling good here at Keyworth. And City able to parlay that into a 1-1 draw. And now we will check out our Tullamore Dew shot of the match, presented by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey.
This is what Lay Jope can do with his shooting lane and time over the ball. A sweet strike to finally give the City faithful a home league goal to cheer about.
And now let's see our Ally save of the match. And as always, brought to you by Ally. We're all better off with an Ally. Learn more at ally.com. And in the early going, Nate Steinwasser able to get the paw out right there. And that was an early stop for Steinwasser to keep this match scoreless. And in the end, both sides settle for a point after the 1-1 draw. So we will take a break, come back, and wrap things up here from Keyworth Stadium. Detroit City FC secures the point as they will go to Tampa Bay next weekend. We'll be back to wrap this thing up. This is USL Championship Soccer.
Soccer, soccer, soccer. Watch it at Detroit's premier soccer bar, the Detroit City Clubhouse. We have domestic and international. Soccer, soccer, soccer. Enjoy cold beer. Don't forget to pies. The Detroit City Clubhouse. Perfect for birthday parties and corporate events. Detroit City Clubhouse. Detroit's home for soccer, soccer, soccer.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the high five strangers got. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan. This is how legends are made.
2024 Chevy Silverado HD with Duramax diesel. And the Chevy Silverado with powerful TurboMax engine. No matter what route you take, there's a Chevy truck to get you there. Find new roads. Or GM employees with a current eligible lease can get this Silverado for $309 a month. Chevy drives the Motor City. Visit ChevyDetroit.com.
Welcome back inside historic Keyworth Stadium as the Detroit City FC faithful leaving content with the 1-1 draw against FC Tulsa. Let's take a look at how it all came together here tonight. And John, we said it during the broadcast, in Detroit City FC, probably their best 20 minutes of action in the first 20 minutes of this game.
Well, it started with this. First of all, a great physical battle to free up the shooting lane for Lay Jope, and that's what he does when he has time over the ball and can strike it sweetly. Bending, blistering rocket toward the post, and not a whole lot Nelson could do. And then all of a sudden, here come Detroit City, keep their foot on the gas and laying it off. Simonson and Nelson, probably his best save of the night, keeps it 1-0, and that would prove to be something that Tulsa could build off of, because in the 39th minute, they come the other way, able to get a shooting lane of their own, and Epps very unlucky to go off the inside of the post and out. And then in the 45th minute, this is where the game really turned. Handball, cut and dried, and here comes that man again, Dario Suarez. He slots it home, and we go into the break level at 1.
Suarez very calm and collected. Went right back towards the middle. Then the second half would begin, and FC Tulsa would really pick up the pace, John Krieger.
They absolutely forced Detroit City back and forced Nate Steinwasser into some saves, and with some help from his friends Devin Amumensa with the save off the line as Steinwasser's beaten and then goes over and gives his defender a pat on the back, and that's where we end.
As we check out the full-time match stats, and remember, Detroit City FC at one time had a 7-1 edge in shots. FC Tulsa ends up with a 15-12 edge in the shots department as we leave both sides with a 1-1 draw. So that will wrap up our coverage from here at historic Keyworth Stadium. Detroit City FC will be at Tampa Bay next Saturday at 7:30. And for our entire broadcast crew and my broadcast partner, John Krieger, my name is Neil Rule, reminding you one final time, Detroit City FC and FC Tulsa play to a 1-1 draw here at Keyworth. Thank you for watching, everybody. Well, see you later.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.